This episode of Gamerheads is brought to you by Magic Mind, the healthy energy drink that will help you take your creativity to a new level.
Hi, I'm Celia Schilling from Yacht Club Games.
Hey, this is James from Mega Cat Studios.
Hey, this is Matt, aka Stormageddon from Reignite, Screen Snark, and the Fun and Games podcast.
This is Stephanie from the Boss Rush podcast and the Boss Rush Network.
Hey, this is Mark and Keon from Bunte Avond.
Hey, this is Sebastian with the ProNerdReport.com and the Single Player Experience podcast.
Hi, this is Chris.
Mike.
And Garrett from Daylight Basement Studio.
Hey, this is Baron J67 from Level 1 Gaming.
Hey, this is Todd Mitchell from Code Right Play.
Salutations, this is Mike Carroll from Stroll Art.
Hey, this is Jeff Moonen from Fun and Games Podcast.
Hey, this is Patrick from the Backlog Odyssey.
Hey, this is Rune from Runic Codes.
Hi, this is Andrew from Spalato Bros.
Hi everyone, Jill Grote here from the Indie Informer.
Hello, this is the Crypt Master, and you're listening to Roger you're listening to Roger on the Gamerheads Podcast.
And welcome to another episode of the Gamerheads Podcast. My name is Roger. Along with me are my good friends and co-host. We have the president and CEO of Gamerheads, Phil.
I was really hoping you were going to introduce Mike first, because I had something that I was going to say when you introduced me, but I couldn't remember what it was, and it would have given me the extra 6 seconds to think. So now I'm going to stall for time in case Mike's got anything witty that he's got just off the cuff that he's ready to just unload on. But I am super stoked to be here.
Okay. If you remember it, we can go back to you.
I think I might have... No.
Okay.
It's not there.
Okay.
It's gone.
We also have our good friend and co-host. We have Mike.
Well, I was gonna say Hohokam, but I'll stall for time so Phil can remember.
It's not gonna happen.
It's gonna be it's Switch related stuff, so that'll give you plenty of time to zone out.
Wait, what? Why the hell are we talking about the Switch 1 minute in? You know what I liked about last week? Now that you've made me mad and talked about the Switch, that Cam was not just a huge hardcore Switch fan and didn't sit here and preach the Switch. Thank goodness for people like Cam.
Who has ever come onto the show and just preached about the Switch? Nobody.
You mean outside of people that only release games for the Switch? Nobody.
What? What are you talking about? What? Oh.
You just got it.
Okay, I get it. Okay.
Back to the wall. Gone.
Okay, fair. But anyway, welcome to the
Hi, Mike.
Hi, Mike. Hi.
Hey.
Welcome to the show, everybody.
Well, wait, I seriously had something to say.
Oh, okay, yeah, Switch. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot. I got so distracted there.
There's I'm telling you this for your benefit, Roger. If you go to the Switch Online thing, there's new Donkey Kong icons.
Yeah.
So if you want a Donkey Kong profile picture.
Did you not see my response to that?
No, I didn't see.
You sure?
Response where? On what?
You put it in our group chat.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, right. and I said, oh, that's cool. I already have the Donkey Kong one.
Oh, well, there's more. And then the other thing I got, also new to Switch Online.
What the hell is going on here? Have we started this show again?
Yeah. I'm giving you time, Phil. I'm doing this for your benefit.
Oh, I don't. It's not going to come to me what it was.
I love how this is for Phil's benefit. Mike's
talking about the Switch is never to my benefit unless you're trying to add on to these gray hairs that I already have.
Well, all right. You know what? I'm not going to say it then.
No, I want to
know.
I want to know.
I'm going to leave you hanging.
No,
the audience is going to get mad. Everyone.
Are we going to come back to it after the break?
You know, everyone
we have a break?
Yeah. No, it's just that Nintendo's literally 20 minutes ago just uploaded 5 Mega Man Game Boy games to Switch Online.
Oh,
okay, that
is really cool. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome! Wow. Okay, I have to go check that out.
I don't know if you were sincere, if you were being sarcastic.
No, I'm really being sincere. I love Mega Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you love anything else that starts with Mega?
Mega Cookies.
Jesus Christ, man! I just gave you a beautiful throwaway.
That was a perfect
shit
segue.
The bed with it, man.
That was the segue. You must not have been taking this drink in order to understand his reference.
But it's Okay. Well, I get it, but I'm not quite there yet, Phil.
You could have been. You could have gotten it out of the way early because
Can I just follow what I?
Can
I just follow the show? Can I follow the show notes, please?
He's got the show notes.
We don't have notes. We never got notes.
Well, yeah, but Phil's the CEO, so doesn't he get veto power?
I guess. Anyway, can I welcome everybody else to the show? Welcome everybody
Who else is here.
Well, I welcome listeners to the show and welcome our patrons, Sarah, Jill, and Matt. Thank you so much for supporting the Gamerheads podcast. And listener, you can also support the Gamerheads podcast.
Did you say listener singular?
Yeah, I'm talking to that one person that's listening right now. That's like, I'm on the fence if I should support the Gamerheads podcast. And I'm telling them, support the Gamerhead podcast. I'm speaking to that one person that's listening right now. You listener.
Use their name?
Fill in your name right here. Whatever your name is, fill it in. Anyway. Listener, thank you so much for giving us a listen. But yeah, you can support our show for as low as $3 a month. You can go to patreon.com/gamerheadspodcast where you can find out how to sign up. And $3 a month will get your name read on air as well. We also do have higher tiers, but $3 is the starting
My
tier.
name's Phil.
I know. Your name is Phil. Okay.
Not tier.
Well, okay.
That was a bit of a stretch, but I
was...
caught it. I caught it.
I got Roger flustered 4 minutes and 50 seconds into the podcast.
Well, let's talk about the promo then. I'll just throw that out here. Yeah, thank goodness for Magic Mind. Thank you, first of all, for sponsoring the podcast. And secondly, it has made many, like, obviously I didn't catch your reference there. I think maybe it wasn't the greatest.
Well, if you were taking Magic Mind, then you'd be able.
Not all punches land.
That's true. Not all punches land. But I've been taking Magic Mind for a while now, and I will say this, that it has helped my mood. And also they gave us some free samples to give out to listeners. So I did give out some free samples. But one of the best feedback I got was I thought this was a can't even talk. Placebo effect. They said that it is not a placebo effect, and it actually works out really. Like, they were really shocked at how well it works and how much energy they had throughout the day, even at the end of the day, and their mood was much better, much more improved. So, listener, if you also want to get your own Magic Mind, you can do so by going to the show notes. There's a link there where you can get a discount on your subscription to Magic Mind. Yeah, it's one of the things I've been using for several months, and I stand by it because it is pretty awesome. And the people there are pretty cool too. So, okay, I do have an icebreaker though, before we get into anything else. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Bring it.
What's the funniest or most embarrassing gaming moment you've ever had? And if you'd like me to start, I have one. And you were both involved. Yeah, I think you were both. At least Phil was. I don't know if Mike, I don't know if you were there. I think you were.
Halo?
I would have thought your funniest gaming moment was your story of GoldenEye at Christmas.
Damn it. We're going to go with 5 straight years of that story.
Good story.
It is a good story. I was thinking more of the embarrassing moment for me. And this was when we were playing Fortnite, and it was down to 2 teams, and it was squads of 4. And everybody was down except for me. And Phil, you were there. And I know Kyle was there. I don't know, Mike, you were there. I think maybe you were. But everybody was shot down, and it was just me and the other person, because all his teammates were dead too. Like, they weren't even there. They weren't even down. They were like dead. And Phil and Kyle are yelling, just come back here. Come back here, Roger. Just come back here. Do you remember this, Phil?
Yes.
Okay. And you guys
I didn't take my Magic Mind.
Okay. That's true. You guys were telling me to go back and basically heal you. And I kept saying, I got this. I got this. And I didn't have it. And I died. And I remember everybody just kind of sat there silent for a moment because it was
believe I yelled out Leroy Jenkins after that.
That was really embarrassing. But you know what? Here's the thing. This is why I like playing games with you, Phil, because like you didn't make me feel terrible. You're just like, yeah, it happens. It's fine. Like you're just like, I don't really care. I'm not playing it to like move up in ranks or anything. It is what it is. That happened. But boy, that was really embarrassing. Because that was my hero moment. I thought to myself, this is it. This is the moment that I'm going to show everybody that I can do this. I was going to be a big hero, and everybody's going to be like, oh my gosh, everybody was down except for you, and you took the guy out, and it was amazing, and I didn't. It was quite the opposite.
It wasn't even close, if I remember correctly. You just got wrecked.
What do we have to like deep dive into it? Like,
well, yeah, that's the whole point of the segment.
I'm pretty sure I already told you how embarrassed I was. So anyway,
it happens, dude.
Yeah. No, it was funny. I'm glad it was with you guys though. I will say, and I've said this before, Mike, like the first time I ever listened to you on a podcast, which was the Controller Throwers, I remember you saying something about Destiny players, and I thought I'll never want to play Destiny with Mike because I'm too afraid because I'm not good.
As you should be.
Yeah, no, but since playing with you, like I realized, like it's fun playing with you. But I was really worried that you'd be like, oh gosh, you're awful at games. But you never said that to me. You guys have always been really nice to me.
Not to your face.
Anyway, that's my embarrassing gaming moment. I don't know who wants to go next.
I'm really having trouble thinking of one.
Wow.
I can buy you some time.
Okay.
Not a ton of time, because as you just alluded to, my entire philosophy is that I really don't care if I win or lose. I'm just here to have fun and play the game. But there was one night playing, of course, Overwatch. I don't remember if it was one or two, because they're essentially the same game. It was myself and my friend Andy that were playing together. I think Kyle and Carrington might have been there as well. And I may have been imbibing on a couple of adult beverages, as I am apt to do, especially when playing video games with my friends, because to me it's basically a social happy hour with the controller in my hands. Where I play video games, I get to have a few beers, I get to bullshit with my friends. Life is good for me at that exact moment. I don't get too, and that's why I don't get super stressed out about things. And I'm slightly competitive, but not to the point where I get angry. But it was one of those where you're pushing the payload types of a thing. So like if you're on the payload and your enemy's not there and you're on offense, you're pushing the payload forward. Well, myself and I think it was Andy cleared out the entire other team, and we're on the payload and standing there, and I start swearing, why the F isn't the effing payload moving? Why the F isn't the effing payload moving? And I'm just getting mad about it, like super hot. And I'm like, this effing game is broken. It was right after Overwatch 2 launched, and they were having all sorts of glitch issues now that I'm starting to say it out loud. And I just hear Andy dead ass silent for about 5 seconds, and he goes, Phil? I'm like, yeah, dude, what's up? And he's like, we're on defense. Word. And that's all I could say was word. Like, I totally wasn't at all paying attention. I was just killing things and wondering why the damn payload wasn't moving. And it's not that it embarrassed me. It was just kind of one of those, hey, dude, just pay a little bit of attention when you're playing instead of treating this like happy hour.
That's pretty good.
But I was super pissed that the payload wasn't moving.
I know.
Like, legit angry. I'm like, this effing game is broken. And we had, like, spent so long trying to get to the game because, like, load times were insane at that time. Everybody was playing. And, I just thought the game was broken. Turns out it's me.
Well, I mean, but in your defense, I mean, the expectations were set that the game was going to be broken. So,
and it was.
I know. That's what I'm saying. When you got into the game, you're like, everything was broken up to this point. Why wouldn't this be broken too? Like, that was, you know what I mean? So, like, broken to the point where Andy's name wasn't his gamer tag for probably the first 3 seasons, and then finally they managed to fix it where his gamer tag was his gamer tag. Yeah, he'd show up as somebody different every time we'd play together. Oh my gosh! But everybody else would appear the same. Yeah, it was just him. Oh my gosh, that's weird. That's bizarre. I got to talk Overwatch in 2 straight episodes. Yeah. Cheers to me. Mike, do you have anything?
Yes, I remember 2.
Okay.
But I want you to. Which one do you want to hear? Do you want to hear the embarrassing, interesting, or maybe funny one? Or do you want to hear the embarrassing, sad, and awkward one?
Oof.
I want both.
Yeah, I kind of want both.
Yeah, you can't lead with a tease like that.
All right.
Yeah.
So okay, I'll do the interesting one first. I was 15. It was my birthday, and so I was having some buddies over for birthday gaming night, and we couldn't afford any new systems, so I rented a PlayStation from Beggar's Video, mom and pop rental shop. So I rented a PlayStation and I rented Resident Evil. Awesome experience. I loved it, but didn't get very far. So I'm playing Resident Evil, and I go and as try as I might, it was not working. This thing was not working for me, and I was getting so mad and so mad and so mad. And I'm like, I got so angry that I called up the video store, and I'm like, I just rented this system, and I'm playing this Resident Evil game, and I'm trying to save it, but it won't let me save the game. And they're like, it's a CD. CDs don't have, you can't write to a CD. You need a memory card. And I'm like, a what? What is that? It's a thing you put into the PlayStation so you can save your game.
Goes in the little port that says memory card.
It's the first time I ever played a PlayStation. I was so angry that, and I'm like, oh, that's a thing?
That's so funny. I bet you owned, as everybody owned, a Lara Croft memory card. Did you own a Lara? Yeah,
I got two. I still have them.
Yeah. I think I have mine too.
Yeah, I got mine because they were on clearance at GameStop for like $1.99.
Yes. That's where I got mine too, because it was on clearance.
I'm going to see if I can. It's all the way over there. I'll show you later, Phil. What it looks like.
What's the other story?
Okay, now I'm gonna tell you, like, this is gonna make you feel bad. I'm giving you a heads up. This is not a good
make
story.
Me feel bad for listening to it, or make me feel
like
okay.
awkward on my behalf.
Oh,
so last Wednesday.
So I logged on to this chat and okay, this is 100% true story, and even thinking about it just kills me inside. It really does. I feel so horrible. I was playing when Xbox Live first came out. That was my obsession. I loved Xbox Live. My game of choice, Return to Castle Wolfenstein. I played Return to Castle Wolfenstein all the time, and I was playing with in the party was my college roommate's best friend. So he and I
But not your friend.
Well, I mean, we were,
second tier friends.
Yeah, second tier friend. Like we only hung out when my old college roommate was there. So, but we still talked and we knew each other pretty well. So we were having a match and he was celebrating that he's like I got 25 kills in this game and you only got 3, because he'd like to razz people. He's like, I got 25 kills and you only got 3, and my response was, well, your mother must be very proud. And I had forgotten for a brief moment that about a year ago,
oh no,
his mom had passed away.
Oh no.
So I said the sentence and my brain reminded me in the middle of my sentence. So I go, well, your and I stop and he's like, what was that? And I'm like, nothing. He's like, what did you just say? And I'm like, and I'm like, dude, I am so sorry. I'm like, I am so. He's like, no, don't worry about it. He's like, it's okay. He's like, I'm not offended or anything like that. But just the fact that I was just saying it for fun.
Yeah, you were just trying to bust balls a little bit.
Totally forgetting. Yeah. And oh man, I felt so horrible. I was quiet for the rest of the day. I felt so terrible that I said that. But yeah, and then I just now everybody, you see the two of you are quiet right now because you feel like you're feeling my regret, and
I feel your shame, but I also at the same time, like, in my brain, anytime anybody brings up my mom, my answer is always which one.
Yeah, I mean, that's good.
But it just it has that exact reaction on people, and that's exactly what I'm looking for anytime anybody says it. Like, yeah, well, your mom, and I'm like, yeah, which one?
Do people even still say mom jokes anymore? Is that still?
Yeah, they do.
They do?
Jokes?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. So you asked for the embarrassing moment. I gave you the embarrassing moment. I delivered, man.
Yeah, you did. Like, that was way more embarrassing than my thing.
Do you still talk to the person at all?
No. Like, and that's because
in fact, that was the last time.
It's only because I don't really talk to my old roommate as much.
Well, I was going to ask, do you? I mean, this is going to sound bad, but I don't actually talk to my old college roommates.
Mm-hmm.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Why is that funny?
I thought you didn't go to college.
I didn't.
Oh, well, that's why it was funny.
That's almost another embarrassing moment for Mike. Like,
yeah, really, yeah, nice try. You ain't gonna get me on that, man.
But in all seriousness, I did live with two people, one of which was going to college at the U of M, my girlfriend at the time, and then we did have another roommate, and he just passed away like a year ago. So it all kind of full circles.
Oh, wow.
And I did still talk to him.
Yeah, but not your ex-girlfriend, I'm assuming.
No.
Okay.
So yeah, that's my embarrassing
gaming
moment. Oof. Now you're bringing back old memories.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how to transition out of that, so we'll just talk about the games that are coming out next week. This is for the week of the 10th of June through the 15th. And the first game that I have here is Rocket Knight Adventures Resparked. It's coming out on PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Switch, and PC on the 11th of June. V Rising for PlayStation 5 on the 11th of June. Taskmaster VR for Quest 3, Quest 2, and PC on the 13th. Monster Hunter Stories for the PlayStation 4, Switch, and PC on the 14th. And Monster Hunter Stories 2, Wings of Ruin on the 14th. And that's coming out for PlayStation 4. And then Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance. That's coming out on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and PC, also on the 14th. Any of those games interest any of you? No.
No, sir.
No. Yeah.
I don't even know what most of those words meant.
Yeah, me too.
How about you? Okay.
No, No, I mean, I think the Monster Hunter ones are like look cool, but I'm not gonna spend money on it. I guess that's the thing. So the V Rising I heard good things about, but I don't have a PlayStation 5, so
yeah. That Rocket Knight Adventures. I mean, I always like a good reboot of a game. But I never played the original Rocket Knight Adventures, so
yeah, I didn't either.
But that's a 16-bit game.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, it's like a Genesis game, I think.
Oh,
I think it's a Genesis game. Mm-hmm.
I think you're right.
So, nope, nothing interesting. We're in that lull right now, but it'll be good because next week we'll learn about a whole bunch of games that are supposedly going to be releasing soon. So
that's right.
Hooray!
Yeah. Although, this will air after Summer Game Fest, so it'll be kind of weird when you're listening to it. But it was interesting that Keeley said, "Don't get your hopes up too high." Like, don't.
That's because everybody gets pissed off about everything. I'd tell everybody not to get their hopes up too, even if I was like, "New Elder Scrolls is dropping today," and I would still tell people not to get their hopes up.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep,
that's true. People like do get so angry and weird on the internet. Internet's weird.
Yeah, man.
It sure is.
Well, let's move into our.
And I totally derailed this entire conversation. We were doing great. We were firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, it was all
Mike
funny.
tells a story about this.
Yeah,
you come back. Yeah. I'm not blaming you for it. I'm blaming Rachel coming in here and making me sniff steaks to see if they're still good or not. I don't know if you guys caught that or not, but that's what actually just happened.
I heard whispering. I thought.
Yeah, I didn't know what was going on.
I was smelling meat to see if it was still fresh or if it was foul.
Hey-o.
And the verdict?
Yeah, it was fresh.
Oh,
I don't know. I can only smell 50 things. I've smoked for 30 years, so like my sense of smell is deadened. But I can usually smell rotten meat.
Oh, okay, I was gonna say, and she relied on you to determine if that was good.
She has bad ideas. She's been dating me for a long time. Hi, buddy.
Mike.
Hi.
You have a game for us this week, do you not?
I do not. I do. Yes, I do.
You do. Back and forth. Last week, there was confusion. Yes. Last week there was confusion.
There was a bit of confusion. Yep.
I asked you to run this game, and you didn't know what I was talking about.
I had
apparently.
no idea what you're doing. I could have thought of something on the spot. I could have.
Well, no, it's okay. That's okay. I called it a trivia game. It's not a trivia game. What do you call it? Back and forth?
It's just back and forth.
Yeah. What's the premise of this game?
So the premise of the game is I'm going to give a topic or a topic or a theme, and Roger and Phil goes back and forth, and they say something that relates to that theme. So, for example, if I would say, I don't know, video game characters with a mustache, and then Roger would say Mario, and then it would go over to Phil, and Phil would say,
I'd draw a blank after Mario.
Phil would say Hagar from Final Fight.
No, I'd say the Iron Sheik.
Iron Sheik, he's in video games, and then it would go back to Roger. So it would go back and forth, and then whoever can't think of something loses. That's it.
Yeah, it's a fun game, but it's a lot harder, listeners, when you're listening and you're under the pressure of trying to think of games like this. Mm-hmm. That's the hard part. So how many games are we talking here, Mike?
I've got one, but here I'm going to do things a little bit different. So I'm going to say the topic, and then I'm going to talk a little bit. While I'm talking, that'll give you an opportunity to think. Give you like 30 seconds to jot anything down. How does that sound?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Okay. So your topic for back and forth is going to be games that feature Looney Tunes characters. So, what I mean by that, I'm talking Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Tasmanian Devil, Wile E. Coyote, the Roadrunner, Speedy Gonzales, Sylvester and Tweety, anything on the Nintendo, Super Nintendo. Phil, come on, I'm stalling for time here. The Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis, Game Boy. There were some Game Boy games. There were a couple on the N64. There were some on the PlayStation. There were a couple based on movies. And the reason I chose it is because the only game I've been playing, and I'm going to jump ahead and say what we've been playing, is I've just been playing Multiverses. And
you just got rid of one of my 3 titles.
I never said that. I never said you can't use it. I've been playing Multiverses, and Tasmanian Devil has been my main. So that made me think, okay, what were some other games that featured Looney Tunes characters? Okay, so I think I did enough stalling. Phil, we'll start with you.
Multiverses!
All right. So, Phil, you guessed Multiverses. That's correct. So that is a game. Roger.
Does Tiny Toons count? Tiny Toons was a game.
Anything in the Looney Tunes universe.
Okay, then Tiny Toons on the NES.
Okay.
Animaniacs?
I'll allow that because that is that. Yep, that is in that same universe.
Tasmanian Devil had a game on the NES.
On the NES?
I think so. Or was it Super NES? It was on a Nintendo system.
Yes.
Or maybe it was a Genesis. No, maybe it was in that genre. Okay, it was in that era, but it was a Tasmanian Devil game. There was a Tasmanian Devil game, I remember it.
Yes. The game was called Tazmania. It was based on the cartoon, and it released on the Genesis.
That was my other one.
Okay.
There's a Super Nintendo version.
I thought about doing that when Roger said the Super Nintendo one. I was like, can I take the Genesis version? I believe there was a Duck Rogers game.
That was my other one.
Duck Dodgers for the Super Nintendo.
Porky Pig had a game.
That's right. Porky Pig did have a game. It was like a haunted house style game.
Yes, it was a haunted house game.
That was on the Super Nintendo. Yep.
It was not good.
I always liked the animation in those. They always had
the animation
in those SNES games. All right.
There was the N64 Super Smash Brothers ripoff called That's All, Folks.
Oh. Is that true?
No, that's not true.
Oh, okay.
I was about to say, that's actually, you had me going for a second.
I did too.
I want to say there was one like called Bugs' Big Adventure or something like that on the Nintendo.
The original Nintendo?
Yes, maybe the Game Boy.
I'll give you, so there were a couple of them. So it wasn't, well, you got Bugs Bunny. But there were a
Well, now
couple.
I'm just naming
It
Looney
wasn't,
Tunes characters.
It wasn't Big Adventure, though. There were actually... So there were 2 Bugs Bunny games on the original Nintendo.
I'm not going to give you a name. I just remember the picture on it. It had like a green label, if I remember correctly.
You know what? I'll allow it. You're talking Bugs Bunny's Crazy Castle.
Yeah, like I said, Big Adventure, Crazy Castle.
Yeah.
Big Adventure in a Crazy Castle.
There we go. The Crazy Adventure Castle starring Bugs Bunny.
Not Million.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there was a Roadrunner game.
There was. It's got Roadrunner and Coyote on the label, but I couldn't tell you what it was called.
Yep, it was just called Roadrunner.
Yeah.
Damn it! That's too easy.
Actually, no, I'm sorry. No. Death Valley Rally. It was called Roadrunner's Death Valley Rally.
I think if you just name Looney Tune characters, they probably have a game.
System. I don't know. Yeah, we can go back and forth. Go ahead, Phil. Name a Looney Tunes character in a system.
There was a Sylvester and Tweety game, I want to say, on the Super Nintendo.
That is absolutely 100% correct. It was called Sylvester and Tweety. Actually, you know what's interesting?
Hey, you got the name of it.
The game was made. The game was made, but it was canceled. It never released, but it was. I'm going to say that you knew it was in development and then was canceled because of your gaming history knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Roger.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was thinking too. I think there was a Brainiacs game, wasn't there?
What the heck is a Brainiac?
No. What was that?
Superman
Brainiac and
I know what you're speaking of.
Who was his?
You.
Oh god damn!
We're in a battle to the death.
Oh gosh, what was that? What was that name? Oh my gosh! Oh no! Come on, his name. And he said, "What we do every night, we take over the world." God, what was the name of the cartoon? Brain.
5,
Brain.
4.
Brain. Pinky in the Brain.
Pinky in the Brain. Was there a Pinky in the Brain video game though?
Yeah, there was.
There was. Okay. That's an Animaniacs one. All right, Phil, back to you.
There was a Marvin the Martian game on the Sega Genesis. Mind you, I have not typed anything.
Yep. There was a Marvin the Martian game. I don't know if it was on the 64 or not.
I thought it was on the Genesis.
Maybe it was. I'll have to look that up. I'll have to see what that was. But you're right, there was. Okay, Roger, back to you.
There's more Looney Tune games?
Oh God, yeah.
Is there a game called just Looney Tunes?
I don't know. You have to tell me.
Throw adventures at the end, Roger.
I think there was a Looney Tunes game on the NES. I'm pretty sure there was.
Just a Looney Tunes game on the NES.
Yeah, okay. It was called like Looney Tunes was on the NES.
I don't think there was.
But there was a Bugs Bunny game on Atari.
Yes, was there?
In my brain, it looks a lot like Kaboom.
No. Okay, you are wrong. There was no Bugs Bunny game on the Atari.
Oh, man. I just made that shit up. I was hoping there was.
Tell, yeah. Phil, do you want to...
Wait. There was one on the Commodore 64.
Everything was on the Commodore 64.
No, there was not a Bugs Bunny game on the Commodore. All right, so look, I think, unless you got anything else...
I don't have anything else.
You got nothing? All right.
Phil, you won.
Phil, congratulations. You win this back and forth. Do you have anything that to put a cherry on top of your victory? Any other video games?
No, but I remember one on the PlayStation, but I couldn't tell you what it was at this point. I just remember from my days of working in the Funcoland warehouse of seeing him.
There's probably some racing games that I don't
Absolutely.
remember.
Mm-hmm. So
Tiny Toons or Looney Tunes Adventures.
Yep.
The racing game.
So I'm gonna throw out some games that may sound familiar. So you had Bugs Bunny's Crazy Castle, Bugs Bunny's Birthday Blowout.
Never.
I remember that one.
Yep. Bugs Bunny Rabbit Rampage. That was on the SNES. Let's see. Bugs Bunny Lost in Time. That was on the PlayStation. No.
Nope.
Let's see. So you've got Daffy Duck in Hollywood for Genesis. Daffy Duck. Yeah. Duck Dodgers.
Kind of
This was a game I always wanted to play. And this was on the DS. It was called Looney Tunes Duck Amuck, which is basically like, if you remember, that was like one of the most popular Daffy Duck cartoons where he's having an argument with the animator the whole time, and the animator keeps drawing different stuff.
Keeps Ryan and tracing things.
And yes.
Yeah. And takes his mouth off and stuff like that.
Right, and it's a video game based on that, where it's Daffy Duck, and you do different things with the stylist to like make him angry.
Interesting.
That's the whole game. There's the Tazmania games. There's there was a Tazmania game for the Atari.
Oh, was there really?
Yep.
There was no Bugs Bunny game, but there was a Tasmanian Devil game.
Sure was. Yep.
Well, it's probably easier to draw a little spinny thing.
I guess, yeah. Taz Wanted was for the GameCube and PS2 and Xbox.
Huh.
There was a Roadrunner game for the Atari.
Shit, I actually own that.
Do you?
I did, yeah.
Nice. What else? There was a game. Oh, Sheepdog and Wolf. With Wile E. Coyote and Sheepdog on the original PlayStation. Yeah. There was a Speedy Gonzales game for the Super Nintendo.
Oh, I should have guessed. Yeah.
There was the Sylvester and Tweety game for the Genesis. And now we're going into actual like Looney Tunes, Looney Tunes B-Ball. Anybody ever played that?
That's what I was saying. I said Looney Tunes B-Ball. That's what I said. Did you not hear me say that? I said Looney Tunes B-Ball. I said that.
Looney Tunes
did I not say that? I said Looney Tunes B-Ball. That's what I said. I said it. I whispered it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You just didn't hear it.
Try.
As the person that won this challenge, I disagree.
Yeah. The name of your game, Roger, Porky Pig's Haunted Holiday.
Yeah. Oh, Haunted Holiday. Yeah, I thought it was Haunted House, but yeah, you're right. It was but it was Haunted something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a Space Jam game.
Oh, Space
Jam.
I
totally should have counted that too.
Yeah.
There's been like 3 Space Jam games. Yep. Sorry about the hard F-bomb right there.
That's all right. Looney Tunes Racing, of course. And then Looney Tunes Back in Action, based on the you know what, I'm gonna say this, if you haven't seen it, if you like Looney Tunes, that is a good movie. It's with Brendan Fraser and Jenna Elfman is in it also.
Some of them were live action, the rest were all the Looney Tunes were animated, right?
This is live action where it's like a Roger Rabbit type movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Great movie if you haven't seen it. Looney Tunes Back in Action. I think it came out in like 2000 if I'm not mistaken. What else? Acme Arsenal, that came out for the Wii and the 360 and the PS2. Let's see, Looney Tunes, and then Multiverses. That's all. Oh yeah, there was that Space Jam game.
I was gonna say there was this with LeBron in it, right?
Yeah, that was a beat 'em up, and everyone hated it.
Chrysler LeBron.
The what?
Chrysler LeBron. It's a LeBaron, not a LeBron.
Thank you. So glad somebody got there.
Yeah. So that was our. So there was a lot of Tiny Toons games.
I forgot about the Space Jam beat 'em up. Not many people like that game. There was not a pop. So I'm assuming that Multiverse obviously is the most recent, but was the Space Jam one the second most recent one then?
Yeah, that came out. Yeah. Yep. And then Space Jam, and then other than that, there's an RPG that's on phones, a Looney Tunes RPG.
What?
Yeah, it's like a free to play garbage turn-based RPG or something like that. That's on phones. So
I outside of Multiverse and I guess the last Space Jam movie, it feels like Looney Tunes hasn't really been in pop culture a whole lot lately.
Have you heard?
Not since they were on jackets.
Yeah, that's true. They were really popular on jackets for a long time.
Oh yeah, 90s. Oh yeah, absolutely. Everybody had one of those. Did you hear this whole story about Coyote versus Acme?
Yeah. Because that was going to be a Max show, right? Wasn't it going to be a movie?
To be in theaters. The movie is done. Everything is done for that movie. It is sitting in the Warner Brothers vault. But they said, no, we're never going to release it because we would rather take the tax break from not releasing it. And people are angry about it because it was supposed to be a good movie. It was supposed to be really good. It was, the people that preview it, or the test audiences were loving it. But basically it was the Coyote, one of his, things he buys off of Acme, goes haywire and injures him, so he files a lawsuit against the Acme Corporation.
That's right.
It's another one of those live actions / animated, hybrid movies, and it was supposed to be good, but we'll never get to see that because reasons.
Yeah.
And I didn't know this segment was going to go so long. All right.
Yeah, that was a good segment. Nice. It was funny to think about the old games, and all I could see is pictures of I couldn't remember the names, but I could imagine the box art, right? That's what I remember.
We chose games back in the day.
Yeah, that's true.
There were no reviews.
So it's funny that you say that, because Mega Man, when I first saw Mega Man, on the shelf. We did not pick up that. We picked up every game. So we'd go to a rental place, and it was like Hometown Video. That was the place it was called. And we would pick up every game, and we would not pick up Mega Man because of that cover looked so generic of a guy that looked like from Tron or something. It was just weird looking. And also the fact that it was called Mega Man, and growing up there was I don't know if you guys had this growing up, but there was these things called Mega Cookies, and they were generic like Oreos, and it was called Mega Cookies. And so we just assumed that it was generic man. That's what we thought it was, Mega generic.
That's why I never played Hydrox Man.
Never played what?
Hydrox Man.
Hydrox Man. Oh,
yeah, Hydrox were generic Oreos. That's what we had.
Okay.
There was a spin-off of a cheap version I would get of Dr. Mario called Dr. Thunder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was a joke. Dr. Thunder is a cheap spin-off of Dr. Pepper.
Dr. Pepper, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, and then we finally rented it and realized it's a really good game. But anyway.
You know what's funny, Roger, is that I had the exact opposite situation. There was a
so you thought that was good? You thought that was good?
I was enthralled by that box art. I'm like, this is so fascinating. And then I would flip it over and look at the little screenshots.
Yeah.
But Gas City, a gas station, was the only place in my neighborhood that had Mega Man. And I would constantly rent Mega Man from Gas City. Because I loved it. Every time I had an opportunity, I would rent the game from that place.
It's funny to think back to, I don't think places really rent games anymore.
No.
Where we found one place that actually is not renting. Well, it's renting, but not really. We at our library, we can get Switch games.
Oh yeah, library. Crazy. Yeah, we can get Switch games at my library too.
Okay. Yeah. And board games, which was pretty cool.
Oh.
But yeah, it's funny that you said about the Gas City, because every place you could rent either movies or games, every place, gas stations.
We had a pizza place where you can rent movies.
we had a grocery store, Piggly Wiggly. We could
grocery stores. We had Dominic's. You could rent movies at Dominic's.
Yeah.
I grew up on an Air Force base, and the only place that we could rent video games was at a place called the Shopette, because we'd have the commissary, which is where you'd buy all of your food, and then we had the BX, which is where you could buy all of your normal everyday home goods, clothes, electronics, all that kind of stuff. But then the Shopette was kind of like a convenience store.
Mm.
It didn't have any gas pumps. There's only one gas station on base, but the Shopette you could rent movies and video games from.
Yeah, that's just another thing from the past, because that's not even a thing anymore. So anyway, let's move on to games that we're currently playing. And Mike, I'll start with you since you ran that game. What games are you currently playing? I know you mentioned Multiverse, but
that was it. I was just playing Multiverses, and last time we spoke, I said I wasn't sold on it. I'm feeling a little bit better about it because I'm doing well online against other people. So I'm actually I'm not doing too bad. My mains right now, besides Taz, I've really grown fond of Shaggy. So I'm enjoying. He's a good brawler. He's got some good attacks. So, and it's not just the playing against other people online. It's the single player mode. Single player mode has enough. I'm finding it to be more packed with gameplay options than Smash. It's really interesting. You go into these different rifts, which is basically like single player ladder style. You fight somebody and then you go. But there's these little mini stories. Right now I'm chasing after Stripe, from Gremlins.
Yeah.
I was thinking about the Fruit Stripe gum zebra
the
thing.
Zebra guy. No. maybe
because now you've got me thinking super retro, and that's where my brain went.
So I'm chasing after him, and there's it's just there's story, and it's not crazy stories. It's just little mini stories that are fun.
Yeah, cool.
When I was playing the Jason Voorhees Rift, a lot of the characters that I was fighting against had Jason Voorhees masks. So Harley Quinn had a hockey mask on.
Really?
Black
That's
Adam
cool.
had a hockey mask on, and I was fighting against them. And they have different mini games, like break the target, if you from Smash, if you know that one. Yeah, there's targets, Phil, and then you break them.
So I'm not just going into a target and ransacking it?
No, you're not. Yeah. And then there's another one where your character is in this little tiny tank, and you have to shoot missiles to protect a big diamond. So it's got like really interesting mini games. The daily missions and everything that you need to do, the battle pass. They're not really that challenging. So I can get through a lot of the stuff I need to in just maybe an hour and a half. So you know what? Honestly, it's growing on me. I'm enjoying it so far. Especially, hey,
That's
it's a
good
free
news.
to play game, and there's interesting, like like I said, they put a lot of love into it. Like the Bugs Bunny outfits you can get. You can get his outfit as the Viking, the
Oh
gold
yeah,
Viking what's opera doc,
yeah.
and a whole bunch of other stuff. And it's just, yeah, it's a good game. I'm enjoying it so far. So and that's what I've been putting most of my time into.
Cool. What about you, Phil? What have you been playing?
Obviously the usuals, which I'm not even going to mention, except I just did. But outside of that, Rachel and I finally, a year later, completed The Quarry.
Yeah.
Our success rate was not very high. It does not help. She's not in the room. That last night when we wrapped it up, she had the final section of the game and managed to get 3 people killed. So I think we only saved 5 out of the 12 people. Yeah, she did not have a good streak. Was having some button issues. The controller was not cooperating with her. Definitely was not the Tito sodas, but the controller was not cooperating with her. Played a little bit more of Evil West. I'm down to 2 levels, I believe, according to walkthroughs, so I'm almost done with it. I will wrap it up at some point, maybe over the course of this week. Outside of that, I don't really think that I've touched anything else because it is the last week of this season of MLB The Show, so I was trying to grind out and get the boss cards. I'm not going to make it because they set the XP levels exponentially high, no pun intended. But the new season starts tomorrow, so I definitely won't be playing that at all.
For myself, more hypercharge unbox.
Streamed it too.
I did stream it. Yeah. Yeah, that game's good. I like the fact that there's a lot of challenges in the game, and it allows you to go back to levels that you already played and see if you can get those challenges. So they're kind of, some of them are pretty difficult too. So, and like some of them are like you have to jump from one place to the next place, and yeah, so it's a cool game, and they unlock different cosmetics, and that's fun. So if you want to read our review, you can do that going to our website at gamerheadspodcast.com, or you can go to our YouTube channel and watch the stream that I did the other night. And I'm going to be streaming more often. So that is my other goal, is to stream more often on Wednesday nights. So I've been playing that. Another game that I've been playing, Phil, you're going to roll your eyes, but I'm going to say it anyway. I did download the Star Wars Hunters on the Switch, that free-to-play arena battle game.
Does your phone not work?
Oh my god. Oh my god. Anyway, I was leery going into this game, thinking, is this going to be a joke? It's actually pretty good. Phil.
Okay. He feels like, I'm not even going to bother. I'll just take your word for it, buddy.
No, it's free to play.
Outline the concept to me, and maybe you can sell me.
So think Overwatch with Star Wars characters.
Are you lying to me right now?
No, that's really what it is. It's 4 versus 4, and the two battles that they have right now is up to 20 kills. So each team has to get up to 20 kills, or
that's already not Overwatch.
Or capture. Well, just hold on. Or capture 3 different areas. Now there might be other. Just can you just?
I didn't say a word. The listeners couldn't see what I did.
That's right. There might be other types too. I just started this yesterday, so there might be other like game matches too. But those are the 2 that are out there right now. And so there's different characters you can unlock as you go through the free pass. You can unlock a Wookiee. You can unlock a Sith assassin. You can unlock a rebel who her main she's the only healer I think in that whole thing, but she's a healer. And then there's a stormtrooper that's a heavy stormtrooper. He carries like a gun that has a shield. There is a bounty hunter. And then the one thing that I will say that I'm like not too keen on is the premium pass is the only way to get the Mandalorian character right now.
Free to play, dude. Free to play.
I know. But it's not free to play though. That part's not free to play. But
yeah, the game you can play for free, but if you want the extra cosmetics, you got to pay for it. Just like Overwatch is.
Yeah, but like that's one thing for cosmetics, but this is like a whole character.
Overwatch is the same way, but also, yeah, I mean, like they steered away from it, but for a while, with every character they'd unlock, you either had to do X amount of hours in quick play or gameplay to get the character, or you had to be part of the battle pass and you'd get them at, actually, no, sorry, you'd have to get through the battle pass level 50 to unlock the character. Or if you bought the battle pass, you just get the character right away.
Yeah, maybe it is farther down in the battle pass and I just didn't realize it. But yeah, you bought the battle and it was $10. I did buy the battle pass because I was like, I'm playing it and I'm enjoying it. So, but it's cool. I mean, I'm not the greatest at it. And now I'm actually unlocked the rankings. So like I'm bronze 3 right now. So we'll see how well I do now that it's actually ranked matches. But
Roger, you're kind of speaking my language.
I know. The one thing I will say is that there's a lot of menus in the game and there's a lot of tiers. So like each character has their own leveling system and so like that kind of threw me off because I thought there was just the battle pass. Oh no, each character does. So it encourages, and I get it, right? It encourages you to play all different characters so that way you can level up those characters, which is kind of cool. I did unlock the Stormtrooper. I did unlock some cool cosmetics for them, but then I did buy one for, I think it was like $1.99 or maybe it was $5. I'm not sure, but it was like an all black suit with like red and it looked really cool. So I was like, whoa, that's super cool looking. But yeah, it's fun. I mean, the matches are really short. That's what I like about it too. It doesn't last real long. It's like, I don't know, less than 5 minutes a match. It goes really fast. And then it's supposed to be in a hut arena. So like this is all sponsored by a hut. So yeah, that's cool.
Can I ask more questions before you move on?
Yeah, sure.
Or were you still describing the game?
No,
I can ask questions at the end.
No, I'm done describing, yeah.
So are any of the playable characters, with the exception of the Mandalorian that you unlock through the battle pass, are they named characters or just generic characters?
Well, they're named, but they're not anybody they're not part of like any Star Wars
not part of the canon that you're aware of?
Right. Like, okay. I think the Wookiee is Groz, Grozz. I think that's the Wookiee's name. Okay. I never heard of that character. The Sith assassin has a name too. I don't know. The Mandalorian has a name. I don't know who these people are. Like if they are part of the lore, they're like part of this deep lore that I am not aware of at all. The Stormtrooper doesn't have a name, obviously, because it's just Stormtrooper. And then the bounty hunter and the rebel soldier has a name too, but they're none of the characters I ever heard. So
like they're not big name characters.
Yeah, they're not big name characters.
Second question
is,
as you're unlocking things, as you're playing through, say for example, as a Stormtrooper, are you unlocking abilities or just cosmetics as you're leveling up the character themselves?
Both.
Can you pay to level up your character?
Yes.
That's bullshit.
Yeah. So like so you can pay, they have like in-game currency, like gems or something like that you can pay to level up your character faster. So, and then I think there's fame points too. And I think fame points, or maybe you can't level up with gems, but you can with fame points. And maybe that's what it, and I misspoke there. I think you can unlock the character with gems, so you don't have to go through the progression of the battle pass to get it. You can just use the gems to unlock it right away. Mm-hmm. I misspoke. I'm sorry. You don't level up your character with it, but you use fame points, and fame points are only earned in game, so you can't buy fame points. And
do you get them by doing things like getting kills, getting assists, stuff like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, but you can just level up just by playing the game too, right? So so there's two ways. You could either spend your fame points to level up your character and level up, and like their abilities level up, or you just play the game and just level up the character then too.
Okay. How many characters total are there in the game?
So right now I think there's like 10 or 11, but it looks like there's enough space. There's either 10 or 12, I don't remember, but it looks like there's more space for more characters to add in the future, because the last row only has 2,
and they all have different abilities. All the different characters do.
Yeah. So like
Go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say like the stormtrooper, his special ability is that he calls down 2 other troopers and they like fight alongside you. And the Mandalorian, for instance, their special ability is that they jump up in the air and they shoot fire from above, and they just like toast everybody below them. So, I mean, those are just 2 examples.
Does it have the characters? See, like I said, you're speaking my language now, so now we're going to have a conversation.
It's free to play, Phil. It's free to play.
Do the characters have like different roles that are assigned to them? Like you kind of alluded to the fact that one of the characters is a healer.
Yeah.
Do the teams need to be filled out by, like, for example, in Overwatch, you get 1 tank, 2 DPS, which are basically your shooters, and 2 supports, which are essentially your healers, not heaters. Damn it, I just remember what I was going to say in the intro. Fuck. Just like that. Or can you just, is it a free-for-all for, like, you don't have to choose what kind of a class it is that you play?
You can choose any class, but only one person can play that character on your team, right? So like the Wookiee and the Stormtrooper are considered heavy class. Mm-hmm. So you can have 2 people playing a heavy class. There's only 2 heavy class right now, so right? So like, and then there's I don't know what there's an assassin, the Sith assassin, but there's also like a sharpshooter, and I don't have him unlocked yet. But I don't know if there's another character like that. But then there's like the bounty hunter, who's also kind of a light character. So, and then there's only one really support character I've seen so far, and that's the rebel that throws down heals. Mm-hmm. That's the one complaint I have seen online, is that their levels, like throwing down heals doesn't like level you as fast for that character as like assist or taking out enemies does.
Which is dumb if they're a support character, but I'm not gonna go super hard into that.
Yeah. But it's, it feels to me like a Overwatch light type game, right? With Star Wars characters, like not too complicated, because like I'm able to just jump in and play, and it's fast matches, and I think that's what they're trying to go for, is just get folks that like may be interested in games like Overwatch, but like maybe intimidated by it, but like Star Wars as well, and just want to have quick. I mean, I played probably like 5 or 6 matches in 15 minutes.
Okay,
sounds like my kind of game.
Yeah,
and also, cool. Like you said too, like after you played so many quick play matches or whatever, you unlocked rank, so now you're part of a ranked, which is that's the same Overwatch system. They're the same way. You got to play 25 quick plays before you can start playing ranked.
Yeah, and then there's dailies. Like you have your daily goals, and you have your season things, and then if you buy the season pass, you get different missions, like additional missions, because there's additional missions with the Mandalorian. So.
But it's only on mobile and Switch, right?
Right now, correct.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. Time to get out the dust spray.
I suspect that it will probably come to other systems at some point. It seems like every time I jump into the game, it seems, I mean, it's not, I don't wait long for a match.
Yeah.
But I do suspect that sometimes I get bots playing with me when there's not enough players.
Does it show people's, I'm going to call it a gamer tag, because it's the only word that I know.
Yeah.
It's usually pretty obvious if they're a bot or not, if it's relative to the game. Like if their tag is relative to the game, like Rogue One. Well, you'd actually kind of feel like a boss, actually, now that I stop and think about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like if it's like Rogue One Killer or like Leia's left hand or some shit like that.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty easy. And the other thing that you'll find, like, the AI is not all that smart. So, like, for instance, like the capture the area one, we get to capture 2 areas to like the percentage goes up if your team has 2 areas out of the 3. I noticed that we captured one area, and then the AI just kind of sat there and didn't do anything, even though an enemy walked into it, just kind of sat there. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, if you're gonna protect it, do something, right?
Dude, it happens. Sometimes you gotta pee in mid-match.
And then even the AI. But yeah, no, it's cool. I think I mean, I don't know, for a while there, I was on a hot streak. I didn't lose any matches. I have lost a couple now, but for a while there, I was top of the team, and I had lots of wins. So since then I did lose, but And there's some that were kind of embarrassing losses, but it's fun. I like it. I mean, again, quick matches. They don't last long, and it's in the Star Wars universe. You have 2 announcers like announcing things as they're going on. It's kind of cool.
Are they like the announcers from Phantom Menace?
From pod racing? That's exactly what I pictured too.
I don't know. I mean, kind of. I mean, yeah. So there's just 2 teams, and I don't know the references. I can't remember what they're called. The 2 teams. There's only 2 teams, and I don't understand the reference. But they just this team won or this team won, and you don't get to pick what team. You just kind of get randomly put on a team. And then they're announcing like what's going on. They're like, oh, they only need 1 more point to win this match. So it's pretty decent. So that game,
you didn't expect that many questions, did you?
I did not. I was expecting just being laughed out of the podcast, but the other game that I've been playing, and listeners, you can go out and listen to my interview with Zalavir Nelson Jr. about this game. I've been playing a game called Life Eater, and it is a kidnapping horror sim sci-fi game.
Are you
Jill talked about it a couple weeks ago when she was on the podcast. Mike, were you on that episode when Jill was here last?
No, that was one of my that was when I was in jail, remember?
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Yeah. So Jill talked about it, and so I'll mention it here. So you're a guy named Ralph who has a god talk to him, who says you need to kidnap people and sacrifice them. And if you don't, like, bad things like the world will end. So you need to do this. And he's been doing this for the last several years. And it's interesting. So the story wise, he's been doing this. He's been very isolated. So what he does is he like stalks people and then kidnaps them. And then he hasn't been seen. Nobody recognized him for a long time except for one person who was like a delivery boy. And he said, hey, how's it going? And then he realized he got caught, and then he kidnaps that person, but he doesn't kill that person. This is part of the story. But so the gameplay, I'll talk about that first. So you have a target, and you have to, on a timeline, like a video editing timeline, that's what it kind of looks like. You have to select the different things you want to do during this time. And it could be things like you're going to, like, I don't know, take out the garbage at the same time they do, so you can witness like what they're doing. And it gives you little clues like what's going on. Jill kind of talked a little bit about this. Like this is not spoily because like it's the first one. The first person you find out, like as you're going through and spying on them on different things, you find out that they buried a dead body in their backyard. Like, what the F was that about? Like, that's weird. And then after you get to a certain percentage of like watching this person for a while, then you can abduct them, and then you do a ritualistic sacrifice, and it'll ask you questions like, this person gets more than 6 hours of sleep. If they do get more than 6 hours, I'm sorry, it doesn't say this person. It just says, does this person get more than 6 hours of sleep? If yes, break ribs 3 and 4. If not, break ribs 8 and 15. And then there'll be questions like, does this person armed ever? If yes, crush the pancreas. If not, like crush the spleen or whatever. So
dark.
It's pretty dark. Okay. So, but it is pretty dark.
It's pretty dark. Okay.
It is pretty dark, but I think what people get hung up on is the whole, I'm kidnapping people and I'm sacrificing them to this god. I think the piece that I took out of the game is it's a story about a guy who has been isolated for a very long time, and the mental anguish that he's going through his isolation, through his belief in this god that he knows is wrong, but he feels like if he doesn't do these things, bad things will happen. That to me, I think is the story of the game, and it's a powerful story.
You've got me intrigued, man. This sounds like it's, I don't know. I'm intrigued.
Yeah, it's different, and that's what I like about this game, because it's not your run of the mill. And the other thing I will say about this game too is, when you hear, it's a kidnapping horror sim game, it sounds like, like somebody was just making this game to like make a name for themselves or do
right.
like
you think Manhunter Postal.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's not what's happening here. Like this is a deep game with some really deep story going on here. And listen to the interview that I have with Zalavir, because he talks about the philosophy and the thought process behind all this. I mean, I actually asked him how his faith played into the part of like making a game like this. How does that affect his stories and the stories that he creates? And he goes into depth with that, and it's really fantastic. So I highly recommend going listen to the episode. You can listen to the episode while you play the game. There is some voice acting. The voice acting is really well done too. But I asked, how do you make a game where you are playing a bad guy and you have to connect with them, right? So he talks about that too. It's really well done. And I'm so thankful that we have indie developers like Strange Scaffold, that's his studio, to make games like this, because nobody is taking on games like this. Nobody's thinking through deep philosophical thoughts and things like that. So it's on Steam. So I don't know if they have any plans to bring it to other systems or not, but right now it's on Steam. It's not expensive. I think it's like less than $15. I think it's like really cheap.
And it's not that graphically intensive, right? My potato.
No, it's not. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, you could, like, my computer can run it. Your computer could run it. So
okay, cool.
Yeah. So those are the games that I'm playing.
Go check this out.
Yeah, it's like I said, I'm thankful for the fact that we have game studios that are willing to do something different than, Madden every year.
All right, you watch your damn mouth.
Or
I didn't know you were a Madden person.
Yeah, are you Madden? No, he's talking about MLB the Show.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's the show. Before we head out, why don't we go around and tell people how they can get a hold of us and find us on social media? Phil, so they can stalk us on social media. Phil, how can people find you? I almost said, how can people stalk you on social media? How can people stalk you on social media?
The same way they stalk me on regular media.
Yeah, that's right.
No kidding.
Yeah, okay.
Well, now I'm just confused because I got really mad about you shitting on the show inadvertently.
There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying it's nice that we have options. This is the great thing about the industry right now. There's so many different games. That's what I love about this industry. There's a lot of things I don't like about this industry, but that's one of the things I like about this industry is that there's so many, whatever you want to play, there's a game for it. So
back.
Yeah.
You can find me on social media on the Twitter at BNow23.
And Mike, how can people find you on social media?
You can find me also on Twitter at PezGuyMike.
And listeners, you can follow Gamerheads on social media at GamerheadsPod. You can also find me on social media at Nintendourage. You can go to our website at gamerheadspodcast.com, and you can go to our YouTube channel where you can hear this episode and all our episodes, all 300 some episodes. No, there's more than that. I don't know how many episodes are out there, but there's a lot. So you can go out there and listen to those episodes if you'd like.
Roger?
I prefer you not listening to some of the early episodes, but that's up to you.
Those are the best, though.
Are they?
Yeah. Before we
Everybody went through puberty, dude.
Mike, was there something you were going to say?
Yeah, what if I want to watch you stream on Twitch?
Oh, yeah, on Twitch. Twitch.tv/Gamerheads Podcast every Wednesday. I'm going to be streaming. I think I'm gonna make it around 8:30 to 10:30ish. So
an hour and a half. Last night you streamed?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Word, everything's okay.
Yeah. So that's it. Phil, thank you so much for joining us this week.
Thanks for having me.
And Mike, thank you so much for joining us this week.
Always.
And listeners, thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule for giving us a listen. If you like what you hear and you want to support the show and help us grow, we would love to see a review. And Good Pods is a newish platform. And if you want to leave us a review on Good Pods, I'll leave a link in our show notes for that. Leave us a review there. That helps us grow and also let us know what you think of the show. Until next week, everybody stay safe and game on. See you then. Bye.
So long.
Take care.